Okay, so let's get started by importing our assets. So we're going to go File, we're going to go New, and here it tells you your template. So you're set to PBR, it gives you a list of options here depending on what kind of project you're looking for. Unreal, it all depends. So for this particular project, I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is, PBR metallic roughness and algorithmic. Okay, here where it says file, you're going to select your file. So you're going to go to where that one file that we just exported lives. Okay, so for me it'll be G my term, and remember I created this FBX folder, so I'm gonna jump into there, and here is the asset that we created, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click that. It's an FBX and open. Okay, now once that's done, here it tells you what's the resolution size for your texture. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at 1024. You can always customize it later, but you can always do that later. I'm gonna leave it as is. 1024 is fine for now. Usually I don't need any normal maps baked or anything just yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as is, and then just select OK. Okay, here is your asset. Now with the middle mouse, I'm gonna scroll out, and here it is. I'm holding down Alt and left clicking so I can rotate. Middle mouse scroll in and out. Okay, and Alt middle mouse drag lets me pan. Okay, same thing in Maya. Okay, now I like to work from scratch, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this layer here. Okay, now before you do anything to any geometry, you need to bake your geometry. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to texture settings. I'm gonna go ahead and say bake mesh maps, and here I want to uncheck the ID and the normal. Okay, from there I want to leave it at 1024. I don't have a high poly model, so this is very useful. So for example, when you're in ZBrush you export two meshes, two geometries. Okay, so you're gonna export a low poly mesh, right? And then you're going to export a high poly mesh. And what you do, you're going to import the low poly mesh, and then you're gonna bake the high poly mesh on top of it. Okay, so this is useful for when you have your ZBrush models. For now, we don't need to. We don't have a high poly mesh, so we're gonna say use low poly mesh as high poly mesh. So go ahead and click that, and we go ahead and say bake Lambert. Here we go. Okay, it's at 100%. You can see here that it's baked everything, your world space normals, ambient occlusion, curvature, position, and thickness. We're gonna go ahead and click OK. And now we can actually start texturing. Okay. So in this next video, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here to keep my video short. In the next one, I'm gonna start texturing this. But just to give you a real quick view of how this works, I'm gonna go back at I'm in my textures settings. I'm gonna go ahead and jump back out to the layers, and let's say I want to add something, some kind of color. So I simply just drag and drop. You click on a material, drag it over your geometry, and there it is. Okay, simple as that. That's how it works. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because that's not what we want, but I just wanted to show you of the basic concept of how Substance Painter works. Okay, you can always spray paint on here and do a lot of crazy stuff on here. This is the software for texturing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this video here and start texturing in the next one.